Good evening, everyone. A warm welcome to all the participants joining us today. Thank you for taking this time to join this insightful session on psychological tactics in online fraud. How scammers exploit human emotions, real world stories, and warning signs. I am Muhammad Ramsi, and I am pleased to host today's webinar on behalf of Avanzo Cyber Institute. Before we move ahead, one important note. Participants who has not registered through our official registration form will not be eligible to receive the participation certificate. I will be sharing the registration link in the chat box shortly, so please make sure you fill it out during the session. Today, we are honored to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Vikas Gopinath. He has over 3 decades of experience in the field of information technology, education, cyber forensic, and digital investigation. He has been associated with multiple academic institutions, law enforcement, training bodies, and professional organizations, and also has played a key role in training police officers, judicial authorities, prosecutors, and civil servants on cybercrime investigation. His extensive exposure to real-world cybercrime cases and fraud investigations bring valuable practical insights to today's topic. Before we begin, please keep your microphones muted throughout the session. You may type your questions in the chat box during the session. We will have a Q&A session at the end and where participants may unmute and interact with the speaker. So now with great pleasure, I invite Mr. Vikas Gopinath to lead the session. Sir, the platform is all yours.
Thank you very much, Ramsin, for a wonderful introduction. Hello, good evening to one and all. I welcome you all to this part of webinar program on psychological tactics in online frauds. See, the topic itself indicates that, how scammers are working very closely with the, targeted victims in order to find out their, moods and scenes, etc., so that when the time comes, they will choose a particular topic or a particular platform to attack. So before getting into the actual subject, let me take you through the brief, history of cybercrime and certain concept about cybercrime. See, I've been working this for the last 35 years, especially in the service sector. And I have seen, all the ups and downs of this particular, area. And initially, see, of course, during my 35 years of life experience, I have almost devoted my last 25 years towards the field of cybercrime related activities only. That is just training program for officers helping in cybercrime investigation also. So, like I mentioned in the earlier, like during 2000, that time when I used to take my first session in Kerala Police Academy, it was hardly anything to talk about cybercrime, because it was nothing. See, when you talk about cybercrime, you can spend hardly one day for explaining everything about cybercrime. But as we know that there is a tremendous growth in the field of technology, internet, and smartphones, especially in India and abroad. And obviously, there is an exponential growth also happened in the field of cybercrime. So, if you look at today, Still, I'm a learner. That means in this particular topic, you won't have an endpoint in learning because each and every day is a new learning session for me. The cybercrime will not end in one fine month. Only thing is you have to update every day. See, I usually used to say that the cyber criminals are running, at the speed of 120 kilometers per hour, and we investigators or the professionals or the people who are trying to find out the cases are running at the speed of 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. They're always far, far away from us. But very soon we'll par with the criminals. No doubt about it. It's basically a matter of time. See, as I told you, cybercrime is a very vast subject, and today we are going to talk about certain areas where day-to-day reporting happens. See, this particular PPT, that is PowerPoint slide, it is not prepared for the sake of training, but this is the actual reported cases in India and in the southern states of our country. And imagine we have cyber police stations in each and every district, and each and every district is reporting around 150 to 200 cases every month. I'm talking about the reported cases. So imagine the non-reported cases. So like that, how many districts are there in our country? It's beyond imagining. Okay, so let us get on to the subject because there is a limited time. We have only 1 hour time to discuss. Before I start off this presentation, I just want to make an announcement. Like for the last 2 days, my throat is gone completely. So in between any break or pause comes, please bear with me. Please excuse me. Okay, it will be there only for a few seconds. Okay. So let me share the screen. Okay, so that I can go through the PPT. Okay, moderator, can you see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is a topic all about, like psychological tactics in online fraud.
Hello,
The
sir.
moment you see,
Hello.
yeah,
The screen is not
yes,
visible. PPT is not visible, sir.
1 minute, 1 minute. Now,
No, sir.
I'll share it once again. What about now?
No, sir, not visible.
1 minute. There's a technical error from my part. Okay, right. Even for any big meeting, if you go, small errors can occur at any time. Now, like rightly what they're doing, etc., etc. Now, in that case, I still think there is a technical problem in voice transmission. Okay, I think now it's all right. Okay, so people sometimes won't take it as so serious thing because they share things, they share a lot of their activities and day-to-day life activities, everything in social media, and there are a lot of people to watch, like what exactly is going on with these people. Okay, so actually, our total entire objective of this particular discussion is about introduction, live examples. See, we are talking about certain cases with real life example, that is reported examples in each and every police stations. And finally, we'll have a small live demo of one particular case that are happening in Maharashtra, Mumbai. Okay. And finally, we'll spend some time for question system. Now, the entire, uh, say, PPT or the entire discussion is all about how emotions and stories and warning signs can happen, especially in this particular sector. Okay. Now, we won't get any warning signs from the scammers or attackers. But after something happened, then only we'll come to know that okay, I'm in trouble or I already got in trouble. The right idea is attending all these programs is basically to safeguard yourself. It is always to safeguard rather than getting into a problem or reporting after getting into a problem. Because there are a lot of limitations, especially in illegal money transfer cases and all. Like, people will report only, after 3 months or 6 months or even, 1 year. See, the ideal time is from 24 to 48 hours for any cybercrime to report in the respective police stations or in the respective cyber police stations. And it is easy to find out the criminals if we get the information within this 24 hours or 48 hours. If you prolong, then it's a serious issue. Okay. Now, as I said before, the cybercrime can broadly classified into two, not only two, but widely classified into two, just for your understanding. One is an institutional attack, which is nothing but a big organizations, corporates, non-corporates, semi-corporates, government organizations, etc., etc. Here, the targets or the cyber criminals will target only those institutions depends on their government. Recently, in India, we had a very big institutional attack. That is AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Science, Delhi. In fact, AIMS web server was totally hacked by a cyber criminal for 5 days. So imagine a place like AIMS, a hospital like AIMS is completely stuck for 5 days means complete OP is gone, patient history is gone, surgical thing is gone, and pharma is gone, operation theater, everything become standstill. And the central forensic team took 5 days to recover the data. So that is basically the institutional attack. But precisely speaking, this institutional attack will not happen very frequently in any of the countries. Even in India also, it is not happening very frequently. But sometimes it happens also. But if you take the second sector, that is individual and small group segment, this is the dangerous segment. Each and every day attacks can happen in this particular segment. As per the latest survey, every minute there is a crime. Crime happens all over the world, or in our country also. Whether it is reporting or not reporting, that's a different thing. But every minute, one crime is happening. Now, if you look at the cybercrime, my ADGP used to say that behind every crime there is a cyber element. If you take murder or kidnap or bank robbery, jewelry robbery, or any other small kind of theft, any crime activity, there is a cyber crime element behind. And rightly, we'll catch the correct element, and the investigation will move on according to the digital evidence that we are getting. Okay, and see, we are talking about hacking, right? All cybercrime starts with hacking, and all cybercrime ends with hacking. So, what is hacking? Basically, if you come to know that what is hacking, then it will be very easy to understand about each and every cybercrime, and the crimes that is happening. You can easily connect to the types of hacking procedures which I am going to describe right now in this particular stage, in particular slide. Okay, so focus those on this particular slide. This is the normal data transfer. You can transfer from A to B, you can communicate from A to B, you can send data from A to B, absolutely not an issue. This is the normal data transfer. Okay. Now, the first hacking report reported was interruption. What is interruption? There is a block in between A and B. That is, you are not able to communicate from point A to point B. There is an obstacle in between and there is a block in between. If it is a technical error, then we can understand. But if it is a deliberately done mistake, then you are punishable as per Indian IT Act. Example, I'll tell you. Someone is creating a malware virus and they are sending it to the mobile server or internet server or whatever server to block the service. This is also called as denial of service threat. That is, any service they are planning to deny it by overloading the server. Every server has got a capacity, and if it crosses beyond a capacity, then it crashes. I'll tell you one more example. See, previous days we had only BSNL landlines, okay, and during that time, only there is no internet, nothing, no WhatsApp, no Facebook, nothing. Only you can send, SMS and receive SMS. And almost all the time during December 31st midnight, these BSNL servers used to crash. Why? Overloaded message. December 31st, everyone sends the message called Happy New Year, Happy New Year. So it will take at least one day, that is by next day, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock only, it will come up. The server will come. So these are all were technical errors. See, imagine someone is doing this same activity by overloading the, whichever server, and then blocking an activity, blocking a service means, then it is a punishable offense. Okay, that is a basic, example for interruption. Now, second one is interception. Interception is basically you can talk from A to B, you can communicate from A to B, and you can send details from A to B. But unfortunately, a person sitting outside C, that is criminal, is getting all the information that is passing from A to B as a copy, a information leakage. This is also a punishable act. See, because without any privacy, you can't get into others, private area and privacy issues and leak things. Of course, in investigation purpose, if a investigating officer needs, he can intercept calls, provided he should get a court order or the order from Chief Secretary or DGP or any other higher officials. And again, this is one of the most dangerous hacking procedure, that is modification. You can access from A to B. You can communicate from A to B. Absolutely not a problem. But all the time you are communicating it through the person who is sitting outside, that is C, criminal. Especially example in online platforms, online shopping site, you are actually trying to access this particular page or site. Say for example, www.amazon.in. And unfortunately, you happen to type www.amazon, that is AMZON. essay on. So it is redirected through this particular, website. Look wise, everything it looks same. But actually, people think that you are accessing this one. No, you are accessing this one only. But he'll take whatever relevant data, like pictures, display wise, and everything. He'll create a new this thing, look, and whatever site, uh, and people will end by this particular point. So here, the only one advice that we can give you is, if you don't know about this site name, please don't get anything from that particular site. That is point number one. And point number two, if you get any link and try to uh, click in that link and go to the particular site and try to purchase something, don't do that. If you are not sure about the spelling, then don't purchase. Okay, that is the only advice I can give you. And finally, it is not applicable to you, but again, you need to understand this fabrication. For 5 minutes, see, any hacking process will never last long for more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Now, in this case, for 5 minutes or even less than 5 minutes, the original connection between A to B got disconnected. And at the time, C is acting as A and he is trying to talk to B. And after the whatever aimed activity is over, then automatically this particular connection got disconnected and the original connection get re-established. This is example for this is banking illegal transactions. You might have heard that SBI bank server got attacked. Now this is the SBI bank server, for example. I am telling it to you in a very simple manner so that you will understand. Okay, this is the SBI bank server, and this is one of the brands. Sorry, this is one of the brands, and only this branch can access this particular bank server. Now, for 2 minutes, the access between this branch and the server got disconnected, and after giving the fake IP or masking that IP, giving a same IP to this particular criminal, he approaches this particular server, and whatever needs he fulfill. This is actually the first step towards attack. It is not that this is the only step to attack servers. No, this is the first hurdle to climb. Okay, so these are the 4 types of hacking which normally happens across the world. Now, if any cybercrime, if you come to know, you can easily connect between these 4, whether it is part of interruption, or whether it is a part of interception, or whether it is a part of modification, or whether it's a part of fabrication. Okay, so that's all about the hacking process. Now, again, if you look at the entire cybercrime, we can further divide it into 4 sectors, that is financial sector, social media sectors, hacking and related crimes like institutional sector, and all other crimes we can name it as misleading crimes. So today we are basically looking at these 2 sectors only. How scammers psychologically attack the targeted person in these 2 platforms. Okay. Now, as I mentioned you earlier, the majority cases are reporting in the social media sector, like money fraudulence, defamation cases, then creating fake IDs, fake accounts in Instagram, Facebook, etc., etc. Then illegal usage of WhatsApp, etc. So, considering all these factors, we have created a real, story related to this subject. Not story, real life situations. Okay, that is how scammers can exploit one person's emotions, stories, and warning signs. Okay. Now, in that, we discuss about few subtopics with examples and real life examples and reported cases. First one, target emotions. Now, all persons need not in the same emotions, and they'll be having a different emotions. As I told you in the initial stage itself, the scammers will clearly understand an individual's emotions generally. Okay, but they have a detailed study on the targeted person and attack that person with a simple methods. In targeting emotion, I'll tell you one example. Okay, a man in a small town getting a message claiming that his close friend had met with a financial crisis and urgently need help to avoid losing his home. So he is going to lose his home. Some japti is going to happen, etc. etc. So this is one way of attacking one individual's emotions. And because of the emotional pressure, made him and sent the money before confirming the authenticity of the story. This is the one of the common tactics scammers are using. And second, especially in during Kerala floods, not only in Kerala floods, many states have faced tsunamis, floods, etc., etc. Fraudsters circulated, emotional, donations, messages with the real photos, bank accounts, fake bank accounts, and you see, photos are real photos only. You get n number of photos from the site. So in social media or individually also, they can circulate all these photos, and they can start asking money, and they'll give a fake bank account also. But during those days, the government itself told very clearly that don't send money to an unknown account, only to government mentioned account or chief minister's relief fund. But people will not, get into all these things. They will send money whenever they see account. That money is gone without checking. That is the most, important. And second thing, pressure and manipulation. When you talk about pressure and manipulation, sometimes you will not have time to, think because of the pressure. And simultaneously, manipulation also will happen. Example, a man in the local city call, get a call from a scammer posting as a bank officer. Posing, he's acting as a bank officer. Imagine, he is acting as a bank officer who is pressurized this person to share his OTP. So when I get a call from my bank manager to share your OTP, initial days, of course, I used to share. But nowadays, no one will share OTP. But in this particular case, he told that the account would be blocked within few minutes. So send whatever relevant details which I asked. See, I am telling you something. No one in this world, even the President of India, or the Prime Minister of India, or the Reserve Bank Governor, will not have or don't have the right to share or ask the OTP. Please keep that in your mind 100%. At any cost, you don't have to share any of the banking details or ATM details or debit card details or even OTP to anyone else. That is the only thing which I can advise. And there are a lot of cases happen, especially in big cities. Like you have big placement agencies, like, and job seekers in especially in metros say that you must pay a registration fee. Of course, that can pay within 10 minutes, or otherwise you lose that job offer. And of course, since you are in the urgency and basically you are ready to pay also, people used to say or used to pay whatever the amount the placement people are asking. When I was in service, I got a lot of mail from lot of IT professionals saying that sir, I lost money, I lost money, I lost money. So there is a big scam going on in the placement service, especially consultants, overseas consultants. See, two or three things you need to check out. That is, they will not come online. They will work from the backend. Okay. So these are some of the cases, and sometimes you need to have fast reaction over logic. Now, fast reaction over logic means, say for example, okay, a shop owner gets a call from the customer that requested, that is, you need to approve for a UPI refund request, and without thinking anything, whether it is a genuine or not, without checking, that is actually triggered a payment from his account to this camera. So basically, without checking, the shopkeeper returned the payment without checking. This is one incident. And I'll tell you one more example. That is a man in Hyderabad rushed into buy a smartphone. That is, you get an offer, like 5 minutes flash sale on a social media, and paid instantly, only to realize the page was fake, or without checking whether the page was original or not. So this happens in previous days very frequently. iPhone, you get iPhone for 25,000 rupees. So think your logic. Is it possible? It is not being given by Apple app, but people are mistaken. They will under the impression that okay, sometimes it may happen. Okay. Now fake alerts. Fake alerts is, we get lot of fake alerts from servers, in bank servers, other communication channels, telecommunication channels, even from RBI, everywhere. Example, like people across the state receive an SMS claiming your bank account will be blocked within no time. Update your KYC. See, this happened during COVID season. During COVID season, maximum KYC update has come from SBI. After getting that message, because you can't go to the bank because it's a complete lockdown, and you immediately click the link which has been provided by the SMS, and it will take you to another SBI site. In that, you have to enter certain details. Immediately, your fund has been transferred. So this is the fake, alert. that normally you get from the reputed organization. And another incident in Pune, woman got a WhatsApp message saying her electricity would be disconnected that night. So please, pay your bill. See, I tell you something. Even in Tamil Nadu Electricity Board, Kerala Electricity Board, people used to get, night calls, like around 8 o'clock. I am the executive engineer of electricity board. Since you have not remitted your, electricity bill, your power supply will get disconnect at 9 o'clock. So obviously, in order to avoid this particular thing, we'll immediately give the payment. But imagine no government employee will call at night 8 o'clock, especially to say your bill is not paid. You may get calls from police station anytime, but not from electricity board, Kerala, or any other water authority. Okay, whether it's a Tamil Nadu Water Authority, Andhra Authority, Karnataka Authority, Kerala Authority, Maharashtra Water Authority, any other. So legal bodies I'm talking about. So beware about all these things. And threats and countdowns. See, threats and countdowns basically, again, it includes a threat and there is a countdown time also. This is again one of the most dangerous attack. Now, a businessman in Mumbai was told income tax rate would begin within 30 minutes unless he made an immediate payment to settle the fake case. See, everybody wants to, avoid a raid, whether it is a real raid or a fake raid. Whether, you are eligible for a raid. You are a right income tax payee and you don't have anything to disclose and you are filing everything on a timely basis, then why you are feared about raid? But whenever people come to know that, okay, fine, there is an income tax rate, people will become panic. So panic-based decision. Now, panic-based decision is basically, especially this will happen to, especially addressed to females. The targeted victims are females. A woman in a metro city received a call claiming her Aadhaar was linked to a crime. Especially panic, she will become panic, and followed by the scammer's instruction that transfer money to avoid arrest. So such message or call gets by a lady, or a lady receives that particular call, then what will happen? Or same lady receives a call like your husband is in met with an accident and he is in ICU, and immediately pay whatever amount to the hospital account, and he give a fake account number of that particular hospital. Which wife will reluctant to pay that since her husband met with an accident and he is about to start an operation? So like that, a panic situation comes. Okay. Now, unrealistic profit. This is quite natural, like lottery, and today you pay 5,000 rupees, tomorrow you get 50,000 rupees. See, try to imagine here, nobody can give you 5,000 rupees if you invest today, tomorrow 50,000 rupees. You have to go for robbery. So it is something like within 24 hours, unimaginary profit. Even the 5,000 can become 50,000 or 1 lakh also. So don't get into this lottery. Don't get into this profit, fast profit kind of this thing, etc. Again, lottery investment, I told you, it is the same thing. Guarantee returns. Some people will say that, banks, there are certain private banks, non-registered banks. They will say that, guarantee return will happen. Okay, when I talk about this particular case, there is a famous thing happened in Gujarat. This is basically called as Ponzi style attack. You know what is Ponzi style attack? They'll announce a scheme which includes a guaranteed monthly payouts with no risk, zero risk. And in this case, the initial investors will definitely get the money as they correctly guarantee. How these people are doing? They give the money to the initial investors from the later on people who are investing. Okay, and so on. But one point of time, the people who invests at the last will not get their money. Initial people may get the money, but after that, after 50%, time, the after investors, late investors will not get this. Actually, one Charles Portsea and Benred Madoff, they only introduced this scam or this scheme in the, I think in US, and it has been found out by the federal, investigation team, and that's why this is called a Ponzi style, investment scheme. Okay. Again, it's also provide the guarantee. Fake emergencies, very important. Fake emergencies in the sense, like it can be anything. If you think you will get hundreds and hundreds of incidents and hundreds and hundreds of reported cases. No, again, a woman in a particular district receiving a call saying that her husband is detained in the airport for carrying some restricted items. And immediately, you have to do some payment for clearance. And definitely, that lady will become panic and he will transfer whatever the asked money to the particular account without checking. And finally, what happened? Landing. Later on, finding the story was fabricated at the end. So this is also like an emergency situation, fake emergency. So there is a right emergency, fabricated emergency, fake emergency, a lot of type of emergencies. So see, even the ultimate aim is same, but they will deal it in different style. That's why I told you they will use different techniques. Depends on the emotions of a particular person. Again, illness or tragedy stories, as I told you earlier. What about illness and tragedy stories? Again, especially they circulate emotional WhatsApp message with a small photo of a kid or a cancer patient or some other patient asking donation. Even today, even now also we can see, such photos and stories in Facebook, Instagram, everything. If it is a real story, we don't mind in, real case, we don't mind in giving or donating to those people. But these are majority are fake cases. You are actually paying to an unknown person, unknown account. So what to do? It's happening even today. Emotional bonding scams, for example. Bonding means for it will take a long time. See, example, when a woman and a male gets into a relationship, and after some period, he'll vanish for 1 or 2 months, and suddenly got a call like Okay, see, Nisha, I want some money urgently since I got stuck up in one place. So due to that strong bonding, this thing relation, that lady will send the money. This is basically happens in between extra relationship, romance, etc. Again, I've told you fake IT pros, fake IT bank, IT officers. In fact, I got a call from my bank saying that your debit card is going to expire, and you have to give your debit card number in order to print the new debit card. Okay. Suppose I gave the details, the call got disconnected, and after 10 days, again, probably one more call will get saying that okay, your debit card is going to your debit card is ready and going to dispatch. So, in order to find out whether you are the person staying in the same address, just an address verification process, I am sending you four-digit number. They will not use PIN or password. Four-digit number. Please pass on that four-digit number. So this is the correct, example for paying back activities. And this can happen to CVV, asking for CVV numbers, debit card details, etc. Personalized bank stories like scammers from an online marketplace convinced with a local resident with a declined bank story claiming. Okay. Backstory claiming. And he was an army officer posted in remote area using emotion narrated. He asked for the advance payment of product that is not arrived. So yes, basically checked the background, and that's a personalized background, checking. Again, a scammer creates a convincing backstory like I just lost my job and I am taking care of my sick parents, making the victim feel sympathetic and more likely to send money. So these are the different stories scammers can disclose. Social engineering narrative, same time. Social engineering narrative, like again receiving a call from someone claiming that to be a courier person, the scammer used to detail stories about package stuck in the customs and convinced to share personal details and make small clearance fee of word out payment. And this is also another technique. This we'll normally called as social engineering narrative. Now, another one is basically urgency and along with secrecy. Immediately, you don't get time. Okay. Example, again, a man got a call claiming that his account had a critical security issue and he must resolve it immediately. Should not tell anyone. Basically, if you tell anyone, then you are losing time. Or if you are going to check anyone, it will lose time. This is an urgent thing. Okay. So secrecy convinced him to share his card details or whatever, leading to a fraudulent withdrawal. So there's a threat element also involved. Okay, because of the urgency. Again, asking for money or OTP, please don't ever disclose at any situation, like even if some person asks for money or OTP or CVV number, please don't get into such situation. Because even spreading all this awareness program, tomorrow suppose sometime you get a call, knowingly or unknowingly, you perhaps sometime you give the OTP. Avoiding verification again. See, even if you are okay to do the verification, the scammer will say that don't call the customer care or bank or any other center. They will confuse you. Just follow the instruction what I do. Of course, if you call a bank, customer or toll-free number, you will have to basically spend minimum 10 to 15 minutes by pressing 1, 2, 3, 4 again 1, 2, like that, and the call will not land into that particular person or customer care office. So in order to avoid all these things, whatever the instruction I say that follow. Immediately people will follow that instruction. Pause and verify. This is again, one of the very important thing. A person receives a suspicious call or message, but stop cross-checking the number or link to official sources and avoids following up. See, some people what they does know, they have this in their background, okay, and they will check and verify. Everyone will not do that, but some people will do that. See, we'll say, all these scammers are targeting, people, and people are, those people are, getting into problems. All educated people, non-educated people will not, get into all this problem. They say, पढ़ा लिखा आदमी है क्या करो? Yes, of course. Only people see the maximum money lost in KYC issue. It was from a deputy, retired general manager of a reputed nationalist bank. KYC issue. So just imagine. Look for red flags. Okay, always caution. That red flags means there is something fishy going on. What is red flag? Again, a man in Trivandrum. Trivandrum is in a Kerala capital city. Receives a call from someone claiming to be a bank officer, but the caller asks account details, etc., etc. If he is a bank manager or officer, he should know the bank details, no? So by saying all these things, we should understand that he is not a bank officer. Like that, you will get some tip from the conversation itself that clearly shows that he is not representing that particular organization. This is basically what I'm saying is look for that particular flag. You get some conversation which is not matching at all. So without disconnecting the phone, you keep the conversation going on, and sometime down the line you will get that and disconnect the phone once you make sure that is fake. So like that, there are plenty of cases which you will have to think and decide. See, never ever respond to such messages, such calls, and such illegal stories, fake stories, etc. I'll tell you, I'll take you through one last example. This is also a real life example. This is something like an ATM calling machine. Okay, see, this is called skimmer, and this skimmer is basically a machine in which you swipe the card, and the content of the card gets copied into this particular skimmer, and a blank card swap again, the content of the old card will copy into the new card. Okay. This is the job of a skimmer. Now, there are various skimmers available in the gray market, and this is the happened case that has happened in Mumbai SEC Bank. Okay, one man get into the ATM account and he put the card into this particular slit. Unfortunately, the slit was duplicate. The original slit was inside. Now, this particular slit was acting as a scammer. Now he got the card information through this scammer, I mean through this skimmer. And what else you require? You require password. Now in this particular case, there was a tray lying on the ATM counter with flyers and everything. Under that bottom side, there was a camera focusing towards the keypad. So he got the password also. But now the situation changes. Now you get a digital pad which you can fit under the any keyboard, which can copy the password. So basically, using swapping machine and remote area ATMs, please be fair about all these things. So I think I have taken enough time, more than the time allotted for me, for explaining the some real life situations and examples, especially how to tackle your emotions by the scammers. Now we'll keep some minutes for questionnaire session, and please note my number and email ID for any further communication or for any other help. Okay. So I think with that I conclude my here. Let us get into the questionnaire session.
Thank you so much, sir, for the informative session. We really appreciate the effort you took to conduct the session, though you were unwell. We will now open the floor for questions. Please feel free to raise your hand or type your questions in the chat box. Kindly unmute your mic, sir, and ask questions.
It's a lot of disturbance.
There are some questions in the chat box. One is
Now, can you
from
please read that?
Rukmini. How can organizations train staff to recognize emotional manipulation, not just technical red flags?
See, you don't have to look at any technical red flag at all. The moment one person start talking about some stories or which is not realistic at all, some incidents which is completely not part of your life, some other cases again which is not part of your life, then I am not saying that you need to look for the red flag. I am saying avoid all these unnecessary dialogues and statements. The moment you start getting that feeling, then stop the conversation at that point of time. Whether it's a technical flag or non-technical flag, everyone might not be able to go through the whether it's a technical thing or a non-technical thing. So forget about that. Any statement which is not comfortable, don't proceed, and don't entertain those things further. Okay, that is advice.
Okay, sir. Next is from Jayan. What psychological tactics do you expect scammers to use more frequently in the next few years?
See, especially with the launch of new AI technology, new emotional blackmails can come using AI tools, or new emotional blackmails can come using some other technologies. Right now, we know only about AI technology. So they will create whatever AI image or AI objects to understand you in a better sense, make you believe that okay, this is your co-partner, this is your husband talking to you lively on a video conference. So like those incidents can happen in future, or your children who are abroad, or children studying out of the state. Using AI method, they can come online, have an online conference, and whatever money they can ask, they will send it to. Notes, Papa, don't send it to my routine account. I have started a new account. Please send to that. So you will get some tip down the line. Okay, so I am not saying that scammers will use the same technology. When technology changes, according to that, scammers use another type of emotions and psychological attacks. Depends on that technology. Yes.
Next is from Cinda. What are psychological tactics and why are they more effective than technical hacking?
See, technical hacking, you require a lot of inputs, a lot of programming, and lot of brain behind that. Technical, see, psychological hackers, what technical knowledge do they require? Other than creating a false bank account or other than creating a false UPI that any children know at this era, today's scenario. So you don't require any technical knowledge at all for psychological emotional attacks. So it is an easy process to get money. You need to spend one phone call saying that, okay, I am a police officer, I am so and so, I am a bank officer, I am that person, this person, whatever, whatever. If you call 100%, minimum 10 people will respond, and 10 people will send you the money. That's the story. That's a ratio, proven ratio. Yes.
Next is from Sindhu. How can families educate elderly or less tech-savvy members about emotional fraud tactics?
Yes, very good question. See, all these targeted victims, if you look at their age profile, those profile will be more than 55 or 60. Why? Suppose 55 60-year-old man gets a call from a bank or any other industry or any other organization, it is you can easily convince that person. And majority of the oldies have lost their money. And it is our responsibility to make them understand that don't get into all these things. Tell these facts. Tell these real-time incidents. Because there are several cases reported by oldies that they have lost money. See, whatever the money throughout the life they made, it lost in one virtual arrest or one some kind of emotional blackmailing, especially online. It is easy to convince those people. So being a literate person, IT literate person, it is our duty to make them understand that please don't get into these things. Yes.
Yes, sir, that's all.
Okay. Again, if at all you have any kind of questions or doubts, any help, I have already provided my email ID and phone number. You can get in touch with me anytime. And once again, thank you very much for attending this program, and thank you very much for Avanzo for conducting this program. And my last this thing is, please try to attend more and more webinars to understand about cyber criminals and cyber activities in a much better form, better manner. Okay. So I wish you all a very safe browsing. Happy internet life. Thank you very much. Good night.
Okay, on behalf of the entire team, we express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Vikas Gopinath, sir, for sharing his expertise and real-world insights with us today. A special thanks to all the participants for attending and actively engaging in the session. Please remember to fill out the registration form shared in the chat box to receive the participation certificate. Wishing everyone a safe and wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ramzi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.